Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and I find myself returning once again to Steve Jackson's Sorcery. Now, I feel I owe you all a little bit of an apology because I have not been recording this game as often as I would like to. It's almost gone down to once or twice a week, so I'd like to make an effort to step up that endeavour. Now apparently I've got a very dry throat despite having had a drink recently, so let's get stuck in and see how this goes. Plan. What's the plan? I'm kind of wishing I hadn't used the light to shine here and restore the bridge, and that I could just go back down here and turn it off. Because it occurs to me that if all of the things in the light, in the present, in the past, are not stuff from the original game books, then all the stuff I want for the Seven Serpents is in the present. And the past is more of an opportunity to go back and see things differently, see how things were, you know. And then, so I should go do the present and then go back, look at the past afterwards. That being said, village. Village could mean food. So I would like to go to Kariamma. You walk on across the plain until you meet the edge of an old road. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. And I get to go this way. Hooray! The path winds up through low foothills towards an open area in the mountains. As you approach the foothills, you see a wooden palisade, spiked trunks planted to form a fence with a single gate. From beyond comes the sound of chatting and banter. This must be the village the shepherd boy mentioned. It seems to be a busy, bustling place. Presumably this village owns the fields and farmland through which you have been walking. You could go in or skirt around it. I got 19 gold. As long as I don't get mugged, I want to buy some food. I've had no rations for days now. Been living purely on prayer. You pause on the other side of the gate, one hand on your sword hilt should anyone be foolish enough to spring a trap, but nothing untoward occurs. Let's look around. The village is a small collection of wooden huts built into a basin with the mountains at its back. In the centre is a fire pit surrounded by tables and benches. Several groups are sitting and eating. I have no food. They have food. I need food. I have need of food. Pleasant smells drift over from the kitchen hut. The sun continues to climb the steep sky. I clicked it once already. Right. Fire, the kitchens. Let's start with the fire, then go to the kitchens, right? Because someone might be able to give us a bit of free food. I have raw food? I have raw food? Was it a fish or something? It was, no. Ah, it was fish. The fire pit is in the centre of the village. You walk past low huts. A few figures glance at you, but they show little interest. The fire is kept low and smouldering, ready to be reignited in the evening. A few people surround it, watching and talking. Well, I'll say hello. I mean, there's nothing worse than just walking up and going, just sit down, ignore them all, and be like, who the bloody hell are you? You know. Greetings, you declare to the people nearby. They look up at you with some curiosity. This... I was about to say, this is the past, so I can talk about my quest and things that I'm going to do in the future, and they won't know about it. But when I get back to the future, if the game is actually like, well, you know, a few hundred years ago, some guy came through here saying he was going to do all these things, and now it looks like you're about to do those things, and we've had astrologers and scryers check for when you were going to do it. Yeah, we're going to stop you now, because we are forearmed and forewarned. There's no point trying to hide that. It might not even exist at this point. I am from Analand. You continue. A lounging woman lifts a hand in return. Welcome to Kariamma, she replies. Be well. Then they seem to lose interest in you and return to staring at the fire and talking to each other in low voices. Someone passes around a charred joint of meat, offering you a bite. Well, I'll eat. I haven't eaten, so... You take a bite. The meat is black and sooty, but rich with flavours and spice. I'll pass it on. No, don't want to... I'm not going to eat the rest. I might be able to get away with one more bite, but it's like... It's clearly being passed around so everyone can enjoy how good it is. I'm not going to be greedy. Having taken your share, you pass the joint on to the next person. I'll cook my raw fish. You unwrap the portions of raw fish you have been carrying and roast them in the fire. I'll eat some, then save it. You tear into a fish. It's rich and delicious and highly nourishing. I'll throw a stick on the fire. You know, just show that I'm helping out a bit, you know. You toss a nearby stick into the fire and it begins to gently smoke and smoulder. There is a great sense of peace here. Stranger, one of the villagers declares, we were having a discussion. Who would be most likely to best the other in a fight? A goblin or a wolf? I have seen such a fight. You have, they declare with pleasure. And who was the strongest in battle? The wolf, no doubt. The goblin is cunning and sword-wise, another declares. No wolf is a match for a blade. I think it took 2 goblins to do the job. I believe the wolves won in the end. You reply, remembering the baying howls at your back when you left the north gate of Khare. We will ask the archmage to deliver one of each, decides a villager with a sigh. In the name of learning and scholarship. What lies to the north of this village? You ask. Tunnels, one replies. A few others look uncomfortable. There are tunnels, another answers, but we do not go there. Oh, why not? The villagers exchange glances. Because there is no need, one replies, and there are some dangers. Oh, what kind of dangers? Something lives there. Something lives there, the villagers replied darkly. There is no danger here in Kariamma. The archmage keeps us quite safe, but under the mountain, well, the woman sighs. They say magic doesn't work under the mountain. I don't think I want to go through those tunnels. There's a bridge. Where do the tunnels lead? The villagers shake their heads. One points sharply downwards, but beyond that, they do not answer. Enough questions, another villager says. Please don't go to the tunnels. We have no wish to send you to your doom. He smiles and pats you on the shoulder. I'll talk to someone else. You sit down beside the woman who spoke earlier. She looks familiar from somewhere, but you cannot place it. She nods in acknowledgement, but says nothing. I think I might know who it is. This is a beautiful village. You begin. The woman smiles, then pauses to tighten a bootlace, a movement which casually flashes the marriage band on her wrist. Thank you, stranger. We all welcome you, she says. This village is Kariamma, the most beautiful village in Ishtara. How can I get across the ridge? I won't ask about the Baklands. She probably doesn't even know they exist yet. How can I get across the ridge, you ask? Oh, you're so eager to leave already? The woman smiles. There's the bridge. You'll have to pay the bridge keeper his toll, of course, but he rarely asks too much. Oh, what's the toll? She looks surprised by the question. Oh, whatever you have, obviously. He can't take a toll from you that you don't carry. Oh, so is it literally everything I have? Maybe I should turn off the light and get rid of the toll keeper on the bridge. I'll thank her. She kicks at the fire with one foot. You talk a lot, she observes. Is that normal where you come from? For some. You're all strangely quiet. I won't risk poking the bear. For some. She nods. You travel alone? I do. Are they going to cook me? She nods. Well, you're amongst us, should you wish to stay. She smiles. Ishtara is the centre of the world, she replies without irony. We will survive forever. Well, I don't think so, but, yeah, I don't think so. You reply, thinking of the barren plateau you crossed in this spot before, where not even a trace of a hut remained. The woman eyes you curiously, but does not reply. Yeah, look, I'd better leave. Now, the thing is, I get up and walk away, she's going to be like, he's going to burn the village to the ground! You nod to the woman and get to your feet once more. Look into the fire. I have a crystal ball! I might be able to... In the base of the smouldering fire pit, there are a few pebbles and some sand. Ooh, let's take some sand. You move to reach into the pit, then pause. There is still plenty of heat coming from the fire. I'll leave it then. No, I've got plenty of stamina. Okay. You reach in and scoop up a handful of sand. It is warm, but it does not burn. You pour it into your pouch. I'll take a pebble as well. Can always pop a rock. Yeah, that's hot. Okay. You reach in and close your fist around a pebble, but it is burning hot. You snatch your hand back, a heavy red burn on your palm. It's not only painful, but since this is your sword arm, it will lower your fighting ability. Until it's healed or just permanently. You stand and nod to the woman as you head away from the fireside. It is very warm now. You begin to sweat under your pack. I'll need to, If my fighting ability is permanently lowered, I'll need to put more of an emphasis on spell work and take less risks in combat. In one corner of the village is a cook's hut. Inside, a lady is stirring a deep cauldron. She looks up and nods to you through the doorway. The sun is hot now. Well, look, I'm gonna come on in. You step inside. I'll greet the cook. Greetings, you declare. You're welcome, the chef replies. If there's something you want. If you don't want anything, there's the door. Oh, I see. You're welcome if there's something you want. If you don't want anything, there's a door. The chef goes over to a shelf to collect some herbs from a jar. I'll look into the cauldron and see if they're cooking Soylent Green. You look into the cauldron. The cook is stirring. Meat broth, the cook says. But if it looks like there isn't any meat, that's because it's Snattercat. I don't understand. You frown and shake your head. Snattercats are invisible, she explains. Or at least, when they have their eyes closed, they are. And since some close their eyes when they die, you can end up with invisible meat. Everyone says it tastes nicer than the visible kind. I'm not so sure. It's certainly harder to cook right. The lady pours a little oil into the soup from a flask above the cauldron. Surely I should be able to see the air holes in the liquid where the invisible meat is, because it... Well, no, because it will start to permeate it and soak in, so... I'll ask about the village. I won't ask about the tunnels. What can you tell me of this village, you ask? The chef shrugs. This is Kariamma, the main village in the fields of Ishtara. Where are you from, if you do not know that already? I'm from Analand. I am stupid, as an option. It's like, Really trying to cover my tracks there. I don't know, somewhere. I'm from Analand, you tell her. I have travelled through the Shamutanti Hills and the city of Khare. She laughs. You are a storyteller, she replies. I've never heard of any of those places, but still you are welcome here. A thin smell of smoke wafts into the tent. Oh, by froth, the cook curses and disappears through a flap at the back. For a moment, you're alone. Well, I want to buy some broth. I don't want to steal some. Take a flask of oil. Sure. Remembering what you learned of the water serpent's weakness, you grab the flask of oil from the shelf and slip it into your pack because water and oil don't mix. When she returns a moment later, she does not notice. She is red-faced. There is a smell of smoke about her clothes. We can't afford to waste any meat, she says. That could have been most difficult. I had to bat out the fire with my skirt. I'll buy some of the broth. You ask how much the broth will be. The cook tips her head. The butcher's just been, she replies. There is plenty to go around. It's 5 gold pieces for a bowl. I'll buy it. Bit more than I expected, but hey. You hand over your coins and receive a bowl of thick broth in return. In particular, it contains what look like largish bubbles, which you presume to be the snattercat meat she mentioned. I don't want to eat it. I'll eat a bubble. You spoon up one of the hunks of invisible meat. It is chewy and rich. You quickly wolf down the rest of the soup. It is warm and nutritious. Well, I'm stuffing my face today. There is nothing more of interest here. You turn without a thank you and leave the hut. It is hot now. You are starting to sweat in your tunic. Why is this increasing heat growing hotter and hotter? So it's not something to do with the... It's not. I don't think it's to do with the... I think it's to do with the weather, not the... Is the fire serpent close? You head past the kitchens to the southern gate and rising path towards the nearby mountain top. You head south towards a climb into the higher mountains. So, my thought here was, right, I should angle this back up there to the alternate round. Then I can come in here, do stuff, try and find another ruined tower. Oh, there we are. Okay, I was like, I can find a tower, then shine it back over here and come back this way, right? So, I'll complete the bridge. Oh! Alright, so I want to... Because most of the serpents are in the present and not the past, I imagine the time serpent can go back into the past just to be really awkward, right? So... I think I want to put that light out again. Or rather rotate it round to cover these. Come down here, explore stuff. Use this, teleport back to here, shine this back across the bridge. And then come in and see the new stuff. I am liking this idea. You follow the winding path to the foot of the staircase once more. Well, look, I'm just going to go back, scrabble down the scree. Oh, yeah, that's not safe at all, is it? You stumble and trip your way down the scree slope until you reach the valley floor. The path traces the border of the Badubak Ridge. A shift in the wind brings the scent of a roast meat from somewhere to the north. You stride forwards. I imagine that's Kariamma. Getting creative with lights. You pick your way over the rocks to the edge of an old road. The sun lowers towards the horizon. Suddenly the ground beneath you rumbles and begins to slide into itself. There is no time for a spell. Your arms are wide, trying to maintain your balance. Leap clear! You try to jump clear, but can gain no decent purchase on the shifting sand. Meanwhile, the ground is moving away faster and faster from under your feet. It's got to be the earth serpent, right? You fall backwards, spreading out your legs and reduce your pressure on the sands. Then you scrabble back as fast as possible, trying to escape the growing pit. Draw sword, scramble, cast a spell. We are... No, we're in the past, so... It shouldn't be the Earth Serpent. Spell. I will have spells. Foul, I think. F. A. L. Float in the air. So I'm reducing my weight so that I will just hover above, right? And then... There is no time to waste. You cast a spell, lightening your body weight to a mere fraction of normal. Should you fall, you'll be safe, but the spell won't last long. But though you are now floating above the ground is still moving downwards, and so are you. As the ground slips further away, forming a pit into the ground, you slide helplessly in to where something is waiting. Wait. Oh. Magic time. What's that teleport spell? Yob. Yeah. A giant would be really useful, actually, because he could, like, appear outside the hole and lift me out of it. Invisible wall? No. Walk? Seems very sensible. Zip. That's the one I needed. Consulting the constellations overhead, you bind the spell and the green metal ring on your finger begins to glow and glitter. You are suddenly torn through the very air to reappear a few strides away. I'll watch. Oh, Badu Beetle! I was going to say Baduback Beetle, but I saw it said Badu Beetle up there. At a safe distance, you watch as the sand trap continues to swirl. A moment later, a creature is erupted from the surface. It's a Badu Beetle! Walk. If I'm going to fight something really dangerous, might as well sacrifice a coin to go in there swinging. You place a gold piece on your wrist and cast the spell, and a moment later the coin is gone. You feel the weight of an invisible shield on your arm. The creature's jaws clack and rub together almost gleefully as it scurries across the sand towards you. It lands a nasty bite that you catch on your shield before you have a chance to draw your sword and defend yourself. So, if I hadn't cast Walk, I could have probably taken damage there. Rub together. So it's getting very aggressive. I will defend. Let it utilize... Oh, okay. The Badu Beetle turns about on the spot, as though it has lost track of you for a moment. It hunkers down, shell plates rippling. You raise your shield quickly in return. The Badu Beetle scurries backwards. So I think it's going back for a run-up or being defensive, but I can defend safely with Walk, right? And wait until... What? You stay low. The Badu Beetle circles the other way. Its long claws stretch. I will defend again! Yes, it came in heavy! So I was trying to bait out a heavy attack so I then wouldn't have much attack power to try to overcome when I counterattack. You bide your time. The Badu Beetle dashes forwards, bounding across the dirt. You fall over yourself, trying to escape from its reach. It stiffens and then rears up. Oh, 1 point. It's that tough. So it's like heavily armoured because of its shell, which means I have to fight it down slowly. Can't afford to take too many risks. The creature's arms are as long as spears, but then you see an opportunity. You feint with your shield, then swing hard. The Badu Beetle, mid-lunge, bends away from your blade. Its hind legs begin digging in the dirt. Let's go like a free. You follow up quickly before you lose ground. You aim a blow at its bug eyes as the Badu Beetle hunkers down. The creature's vicious claws open and close. I will defend. Take it on the shield. I'm so glad I did. You drop back, raising your shield to protect your body as much as possible. The Badu Beetle makes a terrifying strike, but you stay behind your shield. It shifts sideways and... wunk! Right, so go for about a 2, 3... Because I'm never going to do more than one at this point, at this rate, unless we both do big attacks or something. You prepare your sword. You rush forward and stab as the Badu Beetle's eyes turn briefly dark. It straightens up. Why would its eyes turn dark? It's closing them because the eyelids are inside the eyes. It's yeah, insect eyes are weird. I defend. Oh, that was a very light attack. You circle away from the Badu Beetle. It swipes at your shield indifferently. Its back legs throw up more sand. It's building up energy. Rah! 1 point. Watch. Yeah. My point is proven, I think. You ready your strength. You chop with your sword as the Badu Beetle stoops. It hurries a few steps back. Defend to build up energy again. You drop back, raising your shield. The Badu Beetle crouches down opposite you, waiting. It waggles its antennae, tilting its head. Oh, all in. I think it's coming in for an attack. Oh, a light attack. Okay. You prepare your sword. You wield your sword like an axe. The Badu Beetle shifts backwards and scuttling across the dirt. The Badu Beetle bug stumbles and its jaws stretch wide in rage. Its hind legs are working feverishly. Defend! Wait, that was a defend? Oh, like a sort of desperate panicked defense? See, that's my Asperger's syndrome coming in there. Reading people has never been a strong point for me. It's a fascinating subject, because for me it's a conscious effort, and I have to put in a lot of work for it. But I don't always get it right. You pace around the Badu Beetle. It shifts across the plain. The thing's cruel claws grasp at the air. So it's kind of like flexing. Go for like a 3 points. Yeah. Oh, bugger! Okay. The beetle suddenly charges, gigantic pincered arms snapping at you. Mid-swing, you're open. The creature's arms tear at your skin despite your shield. It pulls you close, and you see deep into its black and terrible eyes. The Badu Beetle is ferociously strong, and its claws are like vices. It waggles its spindly arms in a strange motion and stands erect for a moment. You ready your strength. You chop at its legs. The Badu Beetle leans aside, avoiding most of the blow. If it's defending a lot, right, I can just keep on making light attacks. You push forward. Flanking the creature, you swing. The Badu Beetle shifts to one side. The Badu Beetle staggers, losing its balance, and scuttling sideways several steps, it stiffens. Defend. Oh, I should have attacked after all. I wanted to build up power for a big, overwhelming attack to get that last stamina point gone. You drop back, raising your shield. The Badu Beetle grasps at your shield, almost bored. It straightens up, rubbing its arms across one another, and... there we are. You prepare your sword. You slice for the bug. Then your blade lands deep. You cut again, twist, and the Badu Beetle collapses on the dust. That was challenging. You collapse back, gasping for breath. I've already eaten today, so I should get stamina back when I rest tonight, right? Time to be moving on. To the tower! To the tower. You leave the road and walk across the suddenly grassy fields. Your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. Your shield shimmers out of existence. The sun has all but gone. It will be dark soon. You're back at the tower base. There is an open door in the wall to the southeast. The sun has almost set and the sky is turning a deep purple. Soon it will be dark. Well, I'd like to go inside and move the light. You step back inside, glad to be in shade for a moment. The inside of the tower is cavernous and empty, but for a stone staircase that spirals around the walls. The hatch at the top of the stairs is open. Now it is the time to move on. You could go back out to the plain, or up to the top of the tower once more. Up to the top of the tower once more. Up the spiral staircase. You're back on top of the tower in the plains. The cylinder here is pouring out light, and the blue crystal on its base is glowing. Since I have a rope ladder, and I'm utilising this tower quite a lot. I will adjust the beam. Can I make anything else? Ooh. So that tower casts a large, vast shadow. Okay. I'm just checking if I can make anything else appear. Like that. If I go... Oh! Tunnel entrance. Yeah. Right, so anyway, I want to avoid that. I'll just... Ooh, I can go up quite a way. Yeah, let's just... leave it like that for now, with the bridge broken, so I don't have to pay the price. I'll go down the tower. You clamber down through the trapdoor into the body of the tower. This may be a big mistake, but away I go. The inside of the tower is cavernous and empty, but for a stone staircase that spirals around the walls. The hatch at the top of the stairs is open. Yeah, it's literally the same paragraph as before. You step out into the cool air at the base of the tower. You continue on your way. Off I go. Don't you dare, Badu Beetle. I've had enough of you lot already. How late is it? Can't I just... You walk on across the waste until you join the old road. Darkness closes in. You need to rest. In the darkness, you walk almost right into the steep funnel in the surface of the plain. This is where the Badu Beetle attacked you. I don't need to eat, I need to rest. You must keep going. Are we having another sleepless night? In that case, it would appear there are designated resting spots. You make your way up the mountainside. The moon sets. More stars appear. The climb is uneventful and the slopes are silent. So I don't get to rest? Sun's coming up soon. You return up the winding path to the top of the mountain. The cold night lingers on. From the top of the mountain, the view across the plains in both directions is gloomy and dark, but you see no way down to the east. There is nowhere on the exposed peak to sleep safely. You must keep walking. Time to head for lower ground. I have spells. Skid down! I have spells! You step onto the foot of the ruined bridge, and then over. You drop a few feet to the slope below in a controlled fashion, and then you begin to skid, sliding and slipping down the loose stones. You're gathering speed fast. I got spells and everything. Your boot shoots out from underneath you and you skid down the slope on your cloak, arms out backwards to try and keep you level. You're about halfway to the thick trees below. Pray for it. Cast a spell. To cast a spell, you have to lift both hands and craft the starlight, which means you will not be able to hold yourself in balance. I shall do it. Oh. You lift your hands from the ground and try to craft magic, but the stars around you are changing so fast you cannot keep up. You try reaching out and higher, then you skid suddenly onto your side, losing your balance. The canopy approaches its speed. Well, that was a super giant cock-up, wasn't it? You gained one provision and lost some gold, entered the village of Kariamma and found no new clues. Hopefully I don't die. You hit the ground painfully, avoiding a broken neck and a broken leg by a mere miracle. It takes several minutes to regain your breath. Now I'll pray. Something I should have probably done a little bit sooner. I'll look back. To get my boot back? You cast a look back at the mountain slope, but it is all but sheer. There is no way to climb it again. You will have to move onwards. You pick yourself to your feet. You're on the edge of thick trees with no discernible path forwards. You will have to fight through the trees as best you can. I will pray for healing. I got it. Korga has heard you and you feel better. And now we're heading into the Snattercat's woods. Is there? Yes! See the other end of the tunnel. Yeah. You barge your way through the thick trees, pushing branches from your face. Things chitter in the leaves all around. You pause to try and get your bearings in the trees, but you are surrounded and can barely make out the mountains through the dense canopy. Something moves in the corner of your eye. Have you been spotted by a beast already? I'll draw my sword. You draw your sword in readiness, but though you see the branches swaying, there is no sign of a creature. You move on warily. Onwards then. You erupt from the trees onto an old path that winds a narrow course through the forest. The trees loom around you, twisted and old. You explore the forest in the Shamutanti Hills where you met Aliana, but that is mere copse in comparison to this. This forest is ancient. The forest of Snatta is ancient, and it is a maze. There are no roads through it, only twisted paths and dead ends, but who knows what secrets it may hide. The forest by night is a terrifying place, full of strange noises and shifting shadows. You are certain something is following you, but when you turn, there is nothing there. Because it can just close its eyes. I imagine now that I'm on the road, I'm going to get to decide which way to head along it. But that is a decision I feel I should make in the very next episode. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I do look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode. I'm going to say goodbye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. See you all soon.